Yo guys, what's up? It's Michael here, and today I want to show you how you can actually use Claude to scrape thousands of leads almost for free, and later in this video I can show you how to contact them, connecting the right tech stack and generating the right results for your company, for your business. It's a pretty simple guide and tutorial here, so you can put this video on the right on your computer and your environment on the left, so you can just copy me and copy what I'm doing, because I can show you that it's very easy and I'll guide you through all this process from 0 to 1. Okay, so let's start and let's try to describe the use case here. And in particular, you have to identify where your leads are. And in this case, for example, I'm on the ycombinator.com, the Y Combinator website, where I have a list of startups. These are basically a list of startups that are basically funded by Y Combinator. You can basically select here on the left the right batch. You can select the industry, the region, the company size, whatever, okay? And once you have the right company here, you can simply copy the URL. You can open ChatGPT Codex, and on Codex it's extremely easy. You can just say, you can copy and paste the URL, and you can just say, I want to scrape all these companies here, and the more you scroll, the more companies you will have. It's like an infinite scroll feature. I think there are more or less 800 companies. Can you scrape all of them for me? And put all of them in a table with name, company URL, and Y Combinator website. Okay? And you have to be precise, and you can give some information, especially about the infinite scroll, what data point you want, but this is literally enough to actually generate a list with hundreds of companies. I pressed enter, and I basically got all the leads here. Okay. As you can see, we have the name, we have the URL, and the URL from the Y Combinator website. There are hundreds of leads, and it was pretty easy, right? So again, identify the right website. For example, let's say that you're selling to real estate agents. You can go to realtors.com, and you can do the same process. Get the URL, put it inside of Codex Claude, and just describe exactly what you want, and you will get this list, okay? Of course, now this list is not enough. Yes, we have thousands of leads potentially, but now we want to get decision makers about these businesses, and from the decision makers we want to get the personal email or company email, because we want to contact them at scale. How can we do that? Again, it's pretty easy. It's just enough to connect to Claude or Codex the right tech stack. And in this case, what is the right tech stack? We already have the 2000 free leads. As you can see, it's a matter of 30 seconds. You don't have to spend nothing, if not the Claude or Codex subscription. But I think you can do this for free, even with the basic subscription or the $20 per month one. While if you actually want to get a little bit more sophisticated, we have to connect the right tech stack to Claude, because Claude, if you think about it, Claude doesn't have B2B data. If you say, okay, given this list of companies, please figure out the company emails. Claude doesn't have this kind of data. You have to connect the right provider. And in this case, the right provider that I suggest is Oxygen, okay? It's called Oxygen Agent. You can go to the website, you can write Oxygen Agent GTM, and you will find it. This one here, basically oxygen-agent.com. And basically with Oxygen, you can, with just one subscription, I think you have a free trial. Otherwise, it starts from like $90 per month. But you have a connection basically with all the B2B data, all the sequencer, all the CRM, all the workflows in just one environment. So you can just create an account. You can copy the CLI. You can copy your own API. You go back to Claude or Codex, and you just say, please connect the CLI. Please connect the Oxygen CLI, and this is my API. Okay, you paste the API, and automatically you will get all the functionalities, all the features of Oxygen directly in your terminal. okay? And from here, what you can do is, let's go back to our list. As you remember, we have the list of all the companies now, and we can continue with Oxygen. So now we can say, okay, now for each company, can you please find the co-founders, CEOs, and the most important people in general for each company, maximum 3 people per company, and I want exactly full name, job title, LinkedIn profile, URL. Why? Because now we have a list of companies and we want a list of the main people that are leading these companies. And once Oxygen is installed, you can use his APIs and functionalities to actually get all these people, because Oxygen basically is connected to a database of scrapers, a LinkedIn provider, and it can get all the data for you. You already have the inputs, which are the company URLs, and you will get all the outputs in a couple of clicks, okay? In fact, we have already a new table here with all the people. As you can see, we still have company name, but now we have full name, job title, LinkedIn profile URL, and basically the source, okay? And this is enough. By the way, if we have full name plus the URL, now with another prompt through Claude, through Oxygen, we can actually find all the emails. So again, using Oxygen, find all the emails of those 31 people that you found, okay? And inside of Oxygen is using Blitz API and ICPs and AI Arc, which are provided inside of Oxygen. You don't see them, but they work in the background, so it's extremely easy to actually get a coverage of all the emails. Once you have them, it's pretty easy. You have everything, and you will have a list of all of these. What you just have to do now is to have the right sending provider. By the way, inside of Oxygen, you already have an email sending providers where you can connect your email accounts and will send emails for you. Otherwise, what I really suggest here is to use a tool such as SmartLead. Why SmartLead? SmartLead, because in my opinion, is probably the best cold email software in the world. I'm using it many years, and I basically send millions of emails with it. I get probably hundreds of clients at this point with SmartLead, and it's one of the best infrastructure to stay outside of spam, basically. It's really important because it seems easy, and it's actually easy to get thousands of emails, to get thousands of contacts, but it's not easy to send emails at scale and stay outside of spam filters, okay? And with SmartLead, this is totally possible. Actually, SmartLead has a free trial, again, so you can test it for free, I guess. And the smaller plan is $34 per month, up to some hundreds of dollars if you're sending millions of emails per month, and it's pretty powerful. If you go inside of SmartLead, basically you have all the functionalities to send emails in a safe way. As you can see, I have a campaign here that just sent 10,000 emails and I got 65 leads, interested replies, which is not bad. And inside of SmartLead, you can basically buy your own email accounts. As you can see, I have 300 different accounts. You cannot send from your primary domain, especially if you want to send at scale. You have to buy many secondary domains and many secondary email addresses. As you can see here, I have more than 300 with my name, okay? From there, you can create the campaign, and it's pretty easy. And from there, inside of the campaign, you can choose your own addresses, okay? And from there, you can actually send all the emails. And in particular, if we go back to our case, here we already have the list. It's enough to put the SmartLead API here and say something like, by the way, the SmartLead API is easy to find. You can go to Settings, API, you can copy it, and you can put it inside of Oxygen. Okay, you will have basically a place to put the API, or you can put it directly inside of Codex, and you can say, now send all the emails and contacts that you see in the sheet inside of a new SmartLead campaign API key. You can paste the API key. Okay, call the campaign test 22. Okay, enter, And this is the magic of the terminal, right? So without knowing nothing, using the Smart Leads CLI and MCP server, it will be possible to actually create a campaign just using your own words. Try, and you will see that it's possible, and all the leads will go from that sheet that we saw before inside of Smart Lead. From there, then we can actually check all the messages going out. It's pretty easy, okay? For example, I have one campaign here, and again, I can manage everything through the terminal. So for example, let's say that I have 15 different campaigns running and it's, I don't know, Christmas, and I want to stop all of them. It's enough to go back to the terminal and say something like stop all the campaigns. So you don't have to manually stop all of them. And here you have a dashboard with all the statistics and all the KPIs. As you can see, almost 10,000 sent, unique replies, interested replies, open, and you actually have an A/B test to check what message is the best, okay? And by the way, I can create a subsequence. I can onboard automatically all the leads into the subsequence. I can say all the people that are not interested, block them and put them on a block list, everything from the terminal. So now the terminal allows you to actually control all your lead generation efforts just with open words, if you know what you're doing, if you know the right technology stack. And in this way, you can actually, of course, really skyrocket your productivity. Just 2 years ago, you need different clicks and different tools to connect everything. Now you just can use words. 5 years ago, actually, you have to be a developer to do what we're doing right now. 10 years ago, I don't even know if it was possible actually to do this. So we live in a crazy time. Take advantage of all the technology that you have, because you can literally get not really 2 times and 3 times more efficient than everybody else, but probably 10 times, 20 times more efficient. Try to get ahead of what's possible with AI. Try to stay on the forefront of everything, because you will be unstoppable, and nobody or very, very, very few people can actually reach your level of effectiveness, efficiency, and in this way you can literally outperform the competition, okay? I hope you enjoyed this video. Try it yourself. As I always say, do not just consume content, try to replicate what I did. If you have questions, you can reach out to me, maybe on the comments on YouTube or maybe on LinkedIn. I always reply to every person. Hope you like this video, and see you in the next one.